Welcome to Behind the Lore, where we unravel the mysteries of our world. In today's video, we delve into the enigma that forms the bedrock of our civilization: language. From its mysterious origins to its future, join us on this fascinating journey as we explore the power and beauty of languages across the globe. So sit back, relax, and let's start our linguistic adventure. Have you ever pondered about the birth of language, the cornerstone of human civilization? It's a fascinating enigma that has captivated scholars and linguists for centuries. Language, in its many forms, has been the bedrock of our societal development, shaping our culture, our history, and our collective consciousness. There are several theories that aim to demystify the origin of language. Some propose a divine source, suggesting that a higher power bestowed language upon us. This theory is often traced back to religious texts and ancient mythology. Others postulate a natural sound source, asserting that our ancestors mimicked the sounds of nature, gradually giving them meaning. The rustling of leaves might have inspired a word for wind, the roar of a beast, a term for danger. Yet another theory roots the birth of language in social interaction, arguing that our early ancestors developed rudimentary communication to coordinate tasks and express emotions. Language, a tool so crucial, yet its origins remain shrouded in mystery. Imagine a world without words. Difficult, isn't it? But there was a time when our ancestors first started to communicate with sounds. The dawn of communication began not with complex sentences or eloquent speeches, but with the most primitive of sounds and gestures, a primal symphony of grunts, cries, and hand signals. Picture an early human desperate to warn his kin of an approaching predator. There are no words, no articulate sentences, just an urgent guttural cry and a pointing finger. That, dear listeners, was our humble beginning. These rudimentary sounds, gestures, and signs were the building blocks of our language, the first steps in a long journey towards the intricate system of communication we have today. Each sound, each gesture carried meaning, a raw and immediate form of expression, shaped by the need to survive, to cooperate, to connect. But how did these primitive sounds evolve into words? The answer lies in the role of evolution and environment. As our ancestors faced new challenges and their cognitive abilities grew, so too did their means of communication. A shift in the environment, a new predator, or a change in climate, all these factors played a part in shaping our early language. The sounds became more diverse, the gestures more specific. A grunt of warning evolved into different grunts for different dangers. Gestures grew complex, telling stories of hunts and heroic feats. And as groups of early humans began to interact, these sounds and gestures began to standardize, paving the way for a shared system of communication. This evolution was neither quick nor straightforward. It was a slow, painstaking process spanning thousands of years, driven by necessity and the relentless march of human progress. The sounds became words, the gestures became expressions, and gradually these words and expressions formed the backbone of our earliest languages. From mere grunts and gestures we moved towards a more sophisticated form of communication. Our journey had only just begun. The path from primitive sounds to the rich tapestry of languages we have today is a testament to our species' incredible adaptability and ingenuity. It's a journey that, in many ways, mirrors our own journey as a species, from humble beginnings to the dizzying heights of civilization. As society evolved, so did our ways of communication. The birth of script marked a significant milestone in this journey. The dawn of script is a bit like the Big Bang of language evolution. It's the point where communication took a giant leap and began to leave lasting imprints. The earliest known script, cuneiform, was developed by the Sumerians of ancient Mesopotamia around 5,000 years ago. Born out of an administrative need to record transactions and inventories, cuneiform began as simple pictograms, evolving over time into more complex symbols representing sounds and ideas. Around the same time, or perhaps a little later, ancient Egyptians were developing their own system of writing: hieroglyphics. These beautifully intricate pictorial symbols were not just a means of communication, but also a form of artistic expression. Hieroglyphics were used to record everything from historical events to religious texts, from the mundane to the divine. But why are these ancient scripts so important? Well, they served as the first tangible evidence of language, giving us a window into the past. They allowed our ancestors to record their history, their beliefs, their knowledge, and their stories, and pass them down through generations. Furthermore, script was a powerful tool for spreading knowledge. It was the internet of the ancient world. Knowledge was no longer limited to what one person could remember. or what one storyteller could convey. It could be recorded, stored, and shared far and wide. It could be built upon, allowing for the development of complex ideas and philosophies, the growth of civilizations, and the progress of humanity. And so the invention of script was not just about communication, it was about preservation and propagation. It was about creating a legacy, a collective memory that could be passed down through the ages. It was a way for our ancestors to reach out to us across the millennia, to tell us their stories, to share their wisdom, to show us who they were and where we come from. With the invention of script, language was no longer confined to the present. It had gained the power to transcend time. From a single source, language branched out into a plethora of tongues, each unique in its expression. As humanity spread across the globe, so did language, evolving and diversifying to reflect the changing landscapes and societies it encountered. Imagine our early ancestors leaving their African homeland and embarking on a journey that would take them to every corner of the world. As they moved, they encountered new environments, new challenges, and new opportunities. And with each new experience, their language adapted and grew. A word was coined for snow as they reached colder climates, a term for mountains as they scaled new heights, and phrases for the unique customs they developed along the way. Geographical separation played a significant role in this process. When groups of people became isolated from each other, their languages evolved independently. Over time, these linguistic differences accumulated, transforming what was once a single language into many. Yet it wasn't just geography that shaped language. Cultural differences were equally instrumental. Every society has its own ways of seeing the world, its own traditions, its own values, and these cultural nuances are reflected in the language. The Eskimos, for instance, have dozens of words for snow, each capturing a different aspect of the icy landscape that is so integral to their way of life. Meanwhile, in the lush tropics of Polynesia, there are numerous terms for green, reflecting the abundant vegetation that surrounds them. This diversification of language wasn't a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. Even today, new languages are emerging, while others are dying out, reflecting the ever-changing human experience. Language in this sense is more than just a tool for communication. It's a living, breathing entity that grows and changes with us. It's a testament to our creativity, our adaptability, and our endless quest for understanding. It tells a story of who we are, where we've been, and perhaps even where we're going. Language became a mirror of culture, reflecting the diversity of human experience. In the modern era, language continues to evolve, shaped by technology and globalization. Stepping into the 21st century, technology has innovatively impacted the way we communicate. The rise of digital communication has ushered in a new era of language evolution. With the proliferation of smartphones and the internet, we've seen the birth of a whole new branch of language, internet slang. From LOL to BRB and OMG, these abbreviations have become a common part of digital lexicon, reflecting the quick pace and brevity of online communication. Moreover, emojis, the colorful symbols that adorn our text messages, represent a fascinating development. They've essentially created a universal language, transcending linguistic barriers. Think about it, a smiley face means the same thing whether you're in Sydney, Sao Paulo, or Seoul. On the flip side, globalization has played a significant role in language evolution. As people move and cultures mix, languages naturally influence one another. English, for example, has absorbed words from countless other languages, reflecting the diverse cultures that have interacted with it over the centuries. Words like sushi from Japanese, pasta from Italian, yoga from Sanskrit, and safari from Swahili have found a permanent home in the English language. Such borrowings not only enrich a language but also tell tales of historical, cultural, and political interactions. Even smaller languages are not immune to this influence. For instance, the widespread use of English in media and business has led to the incorporation of English words into many other languages, sometimes creating a hybrid form of language known as code switching. Despite these tremendous shifts, the core purpose of language remains the same: to communicate and connect. The words we use might change, the way we write might alter, but the essence of language as a tool for human connection endures. Language, dynamic as ever, continues to evolve, reflecting the ever-changing human experience. So, what lies ahead in the journey of language? As we cast our gaze forward, we see both exciting and challenging prospects. Artificial intelligence, or AI for instance, is reshaping our linguistic landscape. From creating new words to translating languages in real time, AI is on a course to redefine how we communicate. But this isn't the whole picture. The world is becoming more interconnected every day, and this is impacting our languages too. The concept of a global language, a lingua franca understood by all, is not quite so far-fetched anymore. Imagine a world where everyone can understand each other, where language barriers are a thing of the past. But even as we look to the future, it's vital to remember that language isn't just about communication. It's a reflection of our culture, identity, and history. The future of language is as exciting as its past. As we continue to evolve, so will our ways of expressing ourselves. And so, our journey through the captivating world of language continues. As we venture into the future, remember that every word we utter, every sentence we craft, is a testament to our shared history and our collective evolution. As we embrace new technologies and face new challenges, let's not forget the power and beauty of our diverse languages. After all, our languages are not just tools for communication, they are the repositories of our cultures, our identities, and our stories. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to Behind the Lore. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep exploring the fascinating world of language with us.